types of thinking. I spent, there was like 5 or 6 days in the hospital when I was discharged to a rehabilitation center. I was already walking when I went to the rehabilitation center. I was in my hospital bed, and I had very, very few memories from the hospital. One of them is I mostly have sisters. I have one older brother, Joe. And Joe comes into the room, and he asked me if I want to go for a walk. And I don't know what behooved him to ask me that, because I was in the ICU. It's not like patients don't go walk in the hallway in the ICU. It's like, And I remember saying something like, yeah, like they only ever put me in the chair, and they never let me go for a walk. I'd only been out of this coma for like a day, like tops. But I guess they had moved me a little bit to a chair to sit up more properly or whatever. So my brother grabs me by the arm, and in my other hand, I'm holding on to like that pole that like the IVs are attached to, And I just went for a walk. I went out into the hall, and I'm walking down the hall, and I'm approached. My brother and I are approached by a bunch of doctors and whoever in scrubs, and they're like yelling at my brother, like, are you crazy? Why do you have him out here? Like, are you nuts? Like, he's supposed to be in his bed. This is the ICU, whatever exactly. Like, they were like giving it to my brother, and then one of the people in this group was actually what they call the attending. He was the resident who was like assigned to the case. And he was actually a family friend. He had been in class with one of my sisters in the Catholic school that we all went to. And he was like, wait a second. He's like, you're not even supposed to be able to walk. And he starts asking me, like, how's your balance? How's your coordination? Are you dizzy? And he starts like asking me all these things. And I remember thinking like, yeah, like I'm totally fine, man. Yeah, like I need a little support, but I don't feel like anything is really wrong with me. So I remember I'm leaving the hospital, and they're like trying to like force me to be in a wheelchair, and I'm like, I don't want to be in a wheelchair. I can walk right now. And like as soon as I got like down the elevator, like I just got up out of the wheelchair. Like I don't want to be pushed around. I want to walk. So I go to the rehabilitation center where I'm supposed to like relearn to walk, even though I'm already walking. And I spent a week there. I go home. I go very quickly. I go to a speech therapist for like an assessment. They told me my speech is nothing wrong. Everything's fine. I go to a neuropsychologist. There's a bunch of different testing. They do verbal, written, computer, a bunch of different things they do. And the results, he said, your mind's totally normal. Everything is functioning properly. I don't know why they sent you. You're like, everything's fine. A month after the accident, I had to go back to get another brain scan to check the progress, make sure I'm healthy, I'm not regressing. The following day, I had an appointment with the neurologist to speak about the results of the scan. So I go into the room, a neurologist comes in with my mother, who's a nurse, and he puts up 2 images on the board. He's looking at them, and he's kind of confused, and he looks at the file, and he looks at the images, and he starts telling my mother to look at them. He knows she's a medical person, so he kind of shows her. And he tells me, he's like, I don't know what's going on here. He's like I'm checking the file and rechecking it, because there's no way this is there's no way that this is the same person's brain. So he says, this is the image that was taken of your brain the day that you fell. He's like, this is a brain of a person that should be 6 feet under. He's like, this one here, pointing to the other image from the day before. He's like, this is a perfectly healthy brain. There's no evidence in your brain that you suffered any trauma. He's like, it's just not possible. He said, you suffer such a severe brain trauma. First of all, you shouldn't even be alive. And if a person somehow lived this, you should have to get a scan, and later, you can go a little longer to get another one. You have to keep coming back. This is something that's a long road to recovery. You need to relax. You have to to have be on bed rest. This is just not. This is not a normal thing. And he was one of those speeches. I've been a neurologist 30 years, whatever he said, however many years. I never saw this. One of those kind of things. I never seen this in my life. This is crazy. Blah blah blah. And to me, I'm just living.